Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wine and Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lindsay Brantley, the founder of Camellia Alise and the Camellia Alise Academy. And I'm super excited to be here with you guys this week as I am every week. So for those of you guys who are new to Wine and Wellness, I first and foremost want to welcome each and every one of you. Each and every week I come on Wednesdays and answer questions that you guys have given us throughout the week and weeks ahead before that. But before I get started, I always just want to toast to each and every one of you guys. I hope that y'all have your wine. So toast for making it through hump day. All right. All right. And this was a crazy day for me, y'all. So I had Mary playing in the background. One of my favorite songs is called I'm in Love. I'm trying to chill a little bit because I've been running from meeting to meeting to meeting. All right, so I got a question on YouTube this week that really and truly got me to thinking, how do I answer this for my students? So, every week I come on here and answer all different kinds of questions for you guys. We talk about things that are business related. We talk about techniques when it comes to body sculpting. We talk about all different kinds of stuff. But the question that was asked was someone who, of course, had not taken one of our classes, didn't really know me, found our videos, and she asked a question about the vacuum. She asked a question about something else, and then she goes, what happens if I do it wrong or if I did it wrong? And so the issue with this industry right now, a lot of the laser liposuction machines still are not regulated. A lot of the things that we do in body sculpting are not regulated. But the question is, what can go wrong, right? Like if I do this wrong, what's gonna happen? Now, if you're in class, I go through every single contraindication and I explain the why. And I talk to you guys all the time. It's important not to have an instructor tell you, don't do it if someone has pacemaker, but they don't explain why, right? I'm big on the why, and so are all of my instructors. We're big on the why. But the question came, and so I just kind of wanted to answer it for you. So why is it so important that you guys get trained and actually know what you're doing? Some of the things that can happen if it's done wrong, you can easily burn a client, okay? The RF gets very hot. You can easily burn a client. You can easily bruise a client. You can easily shock a client if you leave your handles in the wrong place for too long, deliver too much energy to the body. But those are kind of the surface things, right? So if I'm using the handle incorrectly, yeah, I could burn somebody, yeah, I could bruise somebody, okay. But let's talk about some of the more serious things that could happen if you're doing these procedures wrong. Because a lot of times people think, oh, I'm just gonna get this machine, I'm gonna do this on my client. No, a lot of things can go wrong. So I talk to my students about kidneys, right, and kidney failure. If a client's on dialysis, they cannot do these treatments. I explain why in class. But you can actually cause a normal, healthy person to go into kidney failure or cause their kidneys to go into distress if you do too many of these treatments too quickly and too often, okay? Because what you're doing every single time you do a laser lipo treatment is dumping toxins and liquefied fat into the body, and the body then has to process it. Well, if you're doing this too often, too much, there's no breaks, you're just constantly dumping more and more toxins on someone's body, they can go into kidney failure, okay? I had a student that came to me who got 3 hours of cavitation somewhere at a spa, and they weren't sure what they were doing. The next day, the student's body went into shock, okay? So what happened with her was she wound up throwing up, having headaches. She had to go to the hospital because she got way too much done to her body the day before, so her body could not process all of those toxins. She got very sick. She went into shock, okay? So that could definitely happen to you. It could definitely be one of the things that makes it go wrong. Now, hopefully, if any of you guys, under the sound of my voice, have taken any kind of training or seen any kind of video, you know that if a person has a pacemaker or an electrical device, you should not be doing this treatment. But should you do a treatment on someone who has a medical device and you, let's say, don't ask the question because you don't know, you can literally cause someone's pacemaker to fail, okay, and cause their heart to go into distress. If someone has an electronic insulin pump that's regulating their insulin and you do a treatment on them, they have a computerized insulin pump that regulates their insulin and you do a treatment on them, you could cause it to malfunction and then their insulin levels shoot up or plummet downwards. So I don't want you guys to ever just think, oh, I'm just gonna get this machine and it's gonna be fine, nothing's gonna go wrong. Lots of things can go wrong, okay? That's why education is so important. It is extremely important. So I just kind of wanted to briefly answer what can go wrong. Couple other things I wanted to go over with you. A lot of you guys are doing like body wraps and things of that sort. Did you know that if you have a diabetic client, okay, and you wrap their extremities, so that means arms, legs, thighs, and you wrap those areas so tight, too tight, you can actually cause circulation issues. I'm sure a lot of you guys know diabetic clients already have circulation issues. That's why a lot of times you see them losing toes, losing feet. You know, different things happen with clients who are diabetic. So if you do a wrap that's so tight on that client that it further complicates their circulation, or if you go in the wrong direction when you're wrapping them and you further cause circulation issues, someone can wind up losing their damn toe because they went and got a bunch of wraps somewhere and the person did not know what they were doing, okay? Infrared, for instance. You can very, very easily have a client, someone's like, oh, well, who cares if they didn't drink their water, if they didn't do it, I'm still gonna do a treatment. What can go wrong? What can go wrong? That person's gonna pass out. They can definitely pass out on you. It's like, I always say, it's like trying to run a marathon when you haven't had anything to eat or anything to drink. What happens if you haven't, right? If you just go out there and like, you're like, I'm gonna run 20 miles. Never done it before, but I'm gonna do it. What's gonna happen? You're gonna get lightheaded, you're gonna get dizzy, you pass out, okay? So that's just from an infrared treatment. So yes, things can go wrong. Lots of things can go wrong if you don't know what you're doing and you're not doing a treatment correctly. So someone just said something, hold on. Yes, indeed, you always give great insight. Thank you. Most of this comes from personal experience or from seeing someone else mess up something and I have to clean it up. I was the person, let me just say this, the person that passed out getting out of the infrared, yeah, that was my client 7 years ago, okay? That was me, like the client's like, oh, no, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm gonna be good. No, I mean, I drank a little bit of water, I'm good. Or I haven't really eaten, but I'm on this soup diet and it's going really well. My body's ready. I can get in the infrared and I'm, like, oh, okay, well, all right, sure. I'll let you have a treatment. And then the client gets out of the bed and passes out on me. Now I got to sit here, babysit her, give her water, help her out. I got a client in the lobby that's waiting that I can't take because I got to take care of her. Been there, done that, wrote the book on it, y'all. So anything that I tell you guys is don't do it, it's because I've seen what can happen. So I really and truly, like when the client, when the lady asked that question on a video, I was like, it's so important to do a video on what can go wrong, okay? Now let me not even get started on stuff that is not something that I do, but for instance, lymphatic drainage, right? If you're doing a lymphatic drainage procedure and you don't know what you're doing, you could cause a whole lot of additional complications. Vacuum therapy as well. You leave the vacuum on there. I show my students pictures all the time. Extreme bruising, blistering, things that can happen, or even losing elasticity because you're using the vacuum the vacuum butt cups too much. Those are two things that I don't do, but I've already seen things go wrong when people do these procedures and they don't know what they're doing. So I say all of this to say to you guys, you don't have to come to me to get training. I would absolutely love to touch each and every person, help each and every person. You don't have to come to me, but you need to get some training and you need to get good training. So that as you are seeing clients, as you're trying to help them meet their weight loss and detox goals, you are not further causing issues on their end and with their health or with your business. So it is just so important that you get trained, and you get trained by someone who knows what they're doing. Ask the questions. How long have you been doing this? Were you certified? What am I going to get out of this? Do I get training manuals? Do I get support after? Ask all those questions. There's nothing wrong with that. We get calls all day long, whole staff. We all answer those questions. And if someone's offended by those questions, run. All right? So I got a couple questions going here, quite a few. So give me a couple seconds to answer some of these, okay? You should one comment we just got, it says you should come to Atlanta and do a training. Please come to Atlanta. Okay, so I went to Atlanta. Well, obviously 2020 doesn't count, right? I always say, when I say last year, it means 2019. But we went to Atlanta twice in 2019. I think the closest we're doing this year is gonna be Florida. We don't have a trip yet to Atlanta, but it'll probably be like January 2022. But we do have a lot of students from Atlanta coming in to us. I will do what I can to get to y'all, but of course, y'all can always fly out here to us. We work with y'all. Some students fly in and out the same day, okay? So if the city is not on the list right now, y'all understand that we are working on it, but we do have our school here and expansion here. So most students just fly into us, but we are working on it. Okay, let me see what else we got here. We got a couple other questions. Let's see. One says, I can't stand the clients who refuse water. It doesn't seem like you drank any water. Let me give you a bottle. Now, let me say I do that as well, but a lot of times you can clearly see that your clients have not drank the water, done the things that they need to do. There is nothing wrong with saying, I don't think that your body is ready for this treatment. You are not going to get the best results if you didn't do what you needed to do. I don't want you to get dehydrated. So you either need to drink 2-3 bottles of water. Since that has happened to me many years ago, I will have a client sit in the lobby. Like, I know this is, if I have time, if I don't have another client right after, but I know this is probably going to make us run a few minutes late, but I really need you to sit here and drink these 2 bottles of water. One time I went for an IV therapy, and I was dehydrated, and so they couldn't even get the needle in to do a hydration therapy on me, and I had to drink 2 liters of water. If you want this service, you're going to sit here and drink this water. There is nothing wrong with doing that, or saying we need to schedule you for another day. Let's do maybe wood therapy today that doesn't have as much of a water requirement. But you always need to follow your first mind and your first instinct. And if a client's body is not ready for a treatment that you are about to give them, you tell them no, you reschedule, because it's to their detriment and yours if you do things they're not ready, and if something goes wrong, they're blaming you first. All right, so that is to the response to that comment, and I got one more. Someone says, question, is there a contraindication to put someone in a sauna blanket after an RF treatment? Why is it like the 3rd time I've heard that this week? The answer there is no. You can do, there must be some group, and y'all need to tell me some of these groups, because I'm in quite a few Facebook groups, but I'm not in all of them. But someone else asked me this the other day. Is there anything wrong with giving someone an RF treatment and then doing sauna? No, there's not. You're not going to overheat the client's skin, as long as that's the only heat treatment. Now, if you do RF and sauna, but you had some other kind of heat treatment you're at, like, that's way too much. But there's nothing wrong with doing that. We do the full laser liposuction, including skin tightening, and then we will put clients in the sauna bed all the time. So there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But I have gotten that question. Like I said, it must be something going on in some group where somebody said, oh, well, don't do an RF treatment if you're going to do a sauna bed after, and that's not true. Now, you should not be doing RF treatments for more than between 5 and 20 minutes. Like, so if I do 20 minutes and then I have the client in the bed, the client should not be in an infrared bed for more than 45 minutes. So I don't know what y'all's timings are and what different people are doing that could possibly make it unsafe. Yeah, if I'm doing like a 60-minute RF treatment and then 60 minutes in a sauna, then yeah, that could be dangerous. But if I'm doing like a 5 to 10 minute RF and then I do a 45-minute sauna session, absolutely not. That is perfectly safe, perfectly within the guidelines. So that was a very good question. All right, let me see if we have any other ones. Okay, yeah. So she said, yep, a group in Facebook. DM me. Miss Brick, to you, please DM me that group so that I know what group that is. Because every now and then I do have to jump into some groups and, kind of give my opinion on certain things. So yes, definitely. Okay, so then I have one other comment and then I'm going to go ahead and close out today. All right, so it says, I've seen clients getting cavitation 2 days post-op. What is your take on that? Seems like it would put them at risk for developing complications. Absolutely. We do not, and I know that I've talked about this on lives before, we do not do cavitation treatments for 3 months. 3 months after post-op, because now you should be getting like post-op lymphatic drainage treatments and other manual procedures, but you should not be getting cavitation treatments. You can definitely cause complications, and complications could already be there from the surgery that you are exacerbating. So there could be a blood clot. There could be other issues, but the person who touches them last takes on the liability. Now, I know right now in Miami, you got all these people flying in from out of town, from the Dominican, and then in Miami, they start doing everything a week after. Absolutely not. I would never do that. And so I'm just gonna, kind of end things there, y'all. But I will definitely say, once again, the whole point of this was to let you know what can go wrong. If you don't know what you're doing, a lot can go wrong, okay? So I definitely want you guys to please, please, please make sure that you get trained, properly trained, vet your trainers before you go into all of these classes. And I wish you guys all the best and all the success. And so I'm definitely going to come back next week. We're going to talk about another topic. If there's something that y'all specifically want to hear about, feel free to DM me at any time or email us at info@CameliaAlise.com. And we will answer y'all's questions. We'll get some of those topics going. Next week, I'm going to talk a little bit about business topic, growing your business. So, tune in next week. And as always, I want to toast to each and every one of you guys for making it through Hump Day. We're almost at the weekend. Hope that you guys enjoy your amazing evening. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Thanks. Have an amazing evening. Bye. Please DM me.